TinkerCAD tips. This is going to be part 1 of the Hexagon Fidget tutorial that I promised everyone that I would do. And this will probably be 3, possibly 4 parts, and I'll drop a new one each day, so be looking for the next installment tomorrow morning on Friday. So let me show you what I've got here. This is one of the, or 2 of the completed hexagons, the fidgets that I did previously. This one here is all grouped together, so it's a single object, and if I turn it transparent, you can sort of see what's going on inside there. This version over here is before I grouped it together, so I can individually address each one of these. Let's turn this one transparent, and you can sort of see what's going on there. Each one of these pieces has 3 slots in it, and then 3 of these little protrusions that come through that lock on to the part next to it. Let's go ahead and change that back to solid. Now here's kind of an example of what those look like individually. This is one that's been grouped together, ready to go. And this is what it looks like in all the component parts. There's going to be the hexagon in the middle that'll be hollow with a cylinder inside of it, and then there'll be 3 slots and 3 of these little ears that protrude out. So let's go ahead and begin. Let's first grab all of this and let's move it up out of the way. We'll grab all of these and move them out of our way. Oh, grab too much. Let's bring this over here. Okay, we're going to begin by bringing out a hexagon from over here. And let's change it to yellow. Makes it easier for us to see. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scale this up a bit. So holding Alt and Shift so that everything is going to be scaled equally, I'm going to click on a corner and I'm going to change this dimension to 25. I want to put a little bit of a bevel on here. So I'm going to use this slider in the dialog. That looks pretty good. Now note too that if I simply start dragging this, the bevel's going to change. We'll address making this a little bit taller in a moment. It also has a bevel at the bottom here that we're going to need to remove because I want it to print flat without that bevel. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab a box over here, a whole box, and we're going to slice off the bottom of this. Zoom in here. I'm going to go ahead for now and change my snap grid to off to get the most amount of granularity here. And I'm just simply going to move this down until I'm just above where that bevel begins. I'm going to select the 2 of those, group those together, and while that's selected, I'm going to hit D to drop it to the work plane. All right, now I want to increase the height of this without affecting this bevel here. So we're going to use another whole box here. Going to bring that out. Make sure we have it all surrounded like that. Let's go ahead and bring this one down just a little bit. All right, while that's selected, I'm going to click on work plane and I'm going to put the work plane on top of that whole box. While the whole box is selected, I'm going to hit duplicate. Or I could hit Control D, D to drop it to that new work plane. W to do work plane again. Oop. Put it back out on the default. All right. Now I'm going to grab all 3 of these objects. I'm going to duplicate them. Put my snap grid back to 1 millimeter here. Let's move that over to the right here. Now on one of these, I'm going to delete the bottom whole box, and on the other, I'm going to delete the top one. I'm going to select these 2, group those together, these 2, group those together, and voila. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to realign these 2, so I'm going to shift select this other half. Click Align. We're going to select on the bottom half here to make it the focal point. Everything's lined up that direction. All right, now what I can do is I can select this top one, and I can use this movement handle here. And let's bring it up a ways. And it doesn't matter how tall you want to make these. You can choose that however you want. The taller you make them, the more they'll slide past each other. Now I'm going to select this bottom one, and I'm going to bring it up, increase its height so that it intersects this top half. I'm going to select the two of those and group those together. Our next step now is to make this hollow. If we go back here and look at our example one, if I make this transparent, it's hollow on the inside. There's a couple 3 millimeters at the bottom, couple 3 millimeters at the top, and like 2 millimeters around each of the sides. So the way that we're going to do that, I'm going to zoom out here. Let's get our hexagon back in focus here. We're going to select this. I'm going to duplicate that. And for just a moment here, I'm going to bring this over to the side. I'm going to turn it into a hole. And now I want to make it so that all of the walls are 2 millimeters thick. So I'm going to hold Alt and Shift, and I'm going to select this side, and I'm going to make this measurement 4 millimeters less. So 21. All right. Now notice right now it's on the work plane. I want to bring this up 2 millimeters. So I have my snap grid at 1, holding down Control. I'm going to use the up cursor key, 1, 2. There's 2 millimeters off the bottom. And it needs to be a little bit taller. Right about there. Okay. Let's realign the two of these together. I've got them both selected. I'm going to click Align. Align them in the middle this way. They're aligned in the middle that way. While they're both selected, I'm going to group them together. And now it's hard to see here, but it is now hollow on the inside. While it's selected, I'm going to hit T for transparent, and you can see that it's hollow. Now note, on our originals back here, there is a column in the middle of it that supports the top of it when we go to print this so that it doesn't droop. Remember, we can't have any supports in this. So we're simply going to bring out a cylinder here. I'm going to hold Alt and Shift so that everything resizes uniformly. Let's make this, say, 3 millimeters. Let's drag it up and make it taller. For a moment, let's just kind of bring it over here so we can see what we're doing. And I'm going to bring it up. Let's move our snap grid down to 0.1 here. And let's make sure that it's below the surface. And we want to make sure that it's in the solid part, which it is. Okay, I'm going to make that non-transparent again. Select the both of those. Let's do a quick alignment. That direction. Have them both selected, group them together. Let's make it transparent, and there we've got that part of it. So we're at about 9 minutes here. This is probably a good stopping point for part 1. Be sure to follow for part 2. As always, like, follow, repost my videos, save them to your favorites. It's great for the algorithm. I will be dropping part 2 of this tomorrow, and if you missed a part and want to go back, you can always click on my bio and look at my previous videos, or check out my TinkerCAD tips playlist. Till next time, happy tinkering. Hope to see you on part 2.